What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I'm your host, Jimmy Smith, and clearly I still don't have my voice back. So yesterday at the game was a little bit wild. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. It is a glorious Victory Monday, but clearly my voice is still not back. But the Eagles are back and making moves, so we're going to enjoy a little live show later, a little Victory Monday. Hope to see you then. But, of course, right here, right now, we're going to talk about the roster moves, keep you up to date with everything going on with the Eagles as we do each and every week. We'll celebrate tonight, and then tomorrow we'll be behind enemy lines getting to know everything about the Eagles' Week 4 opponent, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But let's jump right into this bad boy. Appreciate you all taking the time, hitting the like button, sharing, subscribing, hyping these videos up, everything you're doing to support the channel, buying merchandise. The memberships, the super chats, whatever they're called. You guys are awesome. Can't thank you enough for that. But let's jump right into this bad boy and take a gander at what went down so far today. So Xavier Gipson was claimed off of waivers from the Giants. He's in Jets gear there, but you get it. Kenyon Green is the player that was waived to make room for him. So I just said it when we signed Kenyon Green back to the active roster. I told you, next week he could probably be gone when we sign somebody else. And that's just how it works. And people get worked up every time. Why is this happening? What's going on? It's literally like this every week in football, every year. That's just how it goes. Always trying to improve yourself. And Howie Roseman's one of those people that stays busy. So let's take a look at Xavier Gipson here. We know Kenyon Green probably be back on the practice squad or on the active roster in a few days or next week. But Xavier Gipson's here and now. So let's get to know the newest Philadelphia Eagle, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. You have anything to add, any kind of questions, whatever it is on your mind, I'd love to hear from you. We're going to jump right into this, get to know this young man. And as I said, we claimed him from the Giants, but that was I think 11 days ago it was that they claimed him from the Jets. The Jets waived him, and the Giants went ahead and claimed him, and now not even 2 weeks later, he has been waived again, and now the Eagles have claimed him. So, not much to see other than his bio there. So let's jump it back. And, well, as you can see, this year he played in one game, and he fumbled a pretty important return. And you can see that's all offensive snaps there, but he did have 2 punt returns, 5 kick returns in one game. So that's pretty horrible, but great, yards per return there. 9.5 yards per punt return, and then 28.4 for the kick return. So that's nice, but he fumbled one in one game. And then let's take a look at his last full year, which was last season. No starts, but he did play in 17 games, and he had 4 fumbles in this one. So that is an issue that I don't want to see, especially with my return guys. Now, you can see he didn't really help much on offense. 6 catches on 10 targets, 39 yards there, but he did have a touchdown. Broken tackle, a drop. So the fumbles are a big issue. That's really what it is for me. 8.1 yards per return, and then 28.8 yards per return for the kicks. And that's what you're looking at. But if you're dropping shit, I don't like that. And, you look at this and you say, okay, we're bringing in a return guy because, it was a complete shit show yesterday with Bigsby and balls flying everywhere. And I just wasn't a big fan of what was going down. I'm excited that we have Tank Bigsby, but I didn't like what I was seeing there. So these guys got to get the new kicks down. Maybe you got, butterflies, whatever, their first game in Philly. I don't know. But somebody new was brought in. So we just got to hope we clean that department up. We talk about being great in all 3 phases of the game. Well, we need the special teams department to step it up here. So, hey, new situation. The right guys around him. Maybe this is exactly what he needs. Michael Clay, a great special teams coordinator. Maybe that's exactly what Xavier Gipson needs here. And you saw that 4.42 speed. he's a blazing little guy. 5'9", though. He's just tiny little fella. And, I think he runs strong for, his size. He doesn't like break a lot of tackles or anything, but he isn't somebody that just falls over. I think, I like his ability, his agility. I think, a very athletic guy that brings you that kind of speed as a return man, a deep threat. You're not really going to use him on offense. Let's be real here. But God forbid, and maybe, again, in the right system, they figure something out with him. But he played at Stephen F. Austin. He had great seasons there, but honestly, at that level of competition, it's hard to see what they'll do in the NFL. And really, he's just struggled so far, this being his third season, undrafted by the Jets, as you saw there. So, look, man, Giants apparently didn't like what they saw, got rid of him. Not even 2 weeks, so it is what it is. But let's take a look at the updated Eagles. Now, practice squad has not been changed, but I always try to show you guys this stuff on each and every show, just so you know what the team looks like. You don't have to be one of those casual fans that, who? I don't even know anybody on my team. Nobody wants to be a Cowboys fan. So, I try to provide you guys this information. That is what the practice squad looks like. Now, Marcus Epps, as I mentioned, last week, if he gets elevated, which he was, this is his final elevation. So they're going to need to sign him to the active roster if they want him to be that fourth safety. Someone else could be IR'd, someone could be waived, released, whatever it is. Something could be coming, maybe Darius Cooper on IR. I don't know. We'll see the severity of some of these injuries. But that is the practice squad. And we do have an injury list right now. The IR as Lampkin, Van Sumeren, Williams, Wilson. Now Hinton, when he was placed on IR, he was designated to return right away. So next week he has to come back or his season's over. Nakobe Dean, he is eligible to come back after next week. So they can designate to return him and he has a few weeks, or, whatever they want to bring him back. That's their decision. But these are the guys you will not see on this depth chart. Van Sumeren and Wilson out for the season, unfortunately. But you see it on offense. We talked about it. Latu, using him as a fullback. I'm okay with that for now. Don't really have much else. So Shipley, still banged up, but he got some practice in last week. So maybe he's heading in the right direction. But you've got Gipson now, I put, with the receivers. But again, I doubt you're going to see him too much on offense there. So that's what changed on the offense. You see the line, no Kenyon Green there. And then obviously nothing changed with the defense here. But you can take a look at her if you like, at that beautiful defense there. And then, of course, the special teams. Xavier Gipson, I didn't put him as a starter because I'm not just going to give him that. But I did put him ahead of Mechie. Maybe they'll actually give him a shot with Bigsby because you traded for Bigsby. So maybe the Gipson-Bigsby combination helps you. Maybe you try Gipson at punt returner rather than Dotson. I don't know, but we'll find out. I'll adjust it as we see fit. But that's all the information I've got for you on Xavier Gipson now being a Philadelphia Eagle, Kenyon Green being let go of once again. But if you guys have anything, questions, comments, you want to add something, love to hear from you. Always down to talk some birds. You have something else going on, you need a friend, you can always reach out. Does not have to be about the birds. I'm always here for you guys as you are for me. Sorry, my voice is shot, but we'll be back live later tonight for a little Victory Monday, the third edition of the year, and many more to come on this back-to-back edition of the season. So, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, do me a favor, hit that like button. Share this bad boy. Subscribe down below. Hype this video up. Whatever you're doing to support the channel, I cannot thank you enough. Hope you're having a great start to your week. I know I sure as hell am. I am still on cloud nine about that win. Hope you're feeling it too. I know you are, sickos. But until later, I am Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. You all stay safe out there, and as always, go Birds!